Hi guys, how are you? My name is Yannick Nzonde, CEO of Loan Investment. Today I would like to share with you something very interesting about the psychology of entrepreneurs, from thinking consumption to think investment, from job hunting to creating jobs and creating opportunities. I think the first thing we need to think about is who is an entrepreneur. I think trying to strictly define entrepreneur would not do it justice. I think what we need to think about is what does an entrepreneur do and how does an entrepreneur think? Because when we think psychology, we think the thinking of an entrepreneur. How does an entrepreneur think? I think in order to understand the makeup of an entrepreneur, one must grab the concept of entrepreneurship as a phenomenon. It is the creation of businesses and the process by which new businesses come into existence. So it's from inception, from the time you think, oh, I want to start a production label, a production company, to actually starting the production company. There's no entrepreneurship, there's no entrepreneur without a venture. You can't be an entrepreneur of idea. You actually need to start the business and execute on the business. Guys, still in the spirit of psychology of entrepreneurs, from thinking consumption to thinking investment, from job hunting to creating jobs and opportunity. I have divided a business, a startup, into four stages. So it's what a startup, I've divided into two categories. So what a startup business needs and what the entrepreneur needs to be in those stages. So stage number one, I would say developing a product or service. So it's the idea, the development of the idea, and the final deliverable product or service. That's stage number one. And what does the entrepreneur need to be in that stage? The entrepreneur need to be very creative, innovative, problem solver, risk taker, observant, able to identify viable needs. In this stage, an entrepreneur need to be a visionary, need to see where you want to take that idea that you're developing in 10 years, in 20 years. Where do you want to take it? How big do you want it to be? Are you building to leave a legacy or are you building to sell? It's very, very important to find out. Very important to be flexible, to prepare room for flexibility while coming up at this stage. Second is time. You need to dedicate focus time on the goals of the business or your personal goals. You need to dedicate time. The business needs a dedicated time. A business is an entity. It's like a sports car. You need to dedicate time to it. You need to maintain it. You need to dedicate time to make it what you want it to be. And at that point, an entrepreneur needs to be a planner, really hardworking because you sacrifice a lot. Life of an entrepreneur is a life of sacrifice. You sacrifice on family time. You sacrifice on hangouts. You sacrifice on a lot of things that people your age would be doing. Multitasker, very passionate. You need to be passionate as an entrepreneur. Otherwise, you will not succeed. It's simple. Because at the beginning, a business takes from you before it starts giving you. So when times get hard, when all hell break loose, if you are not passionate about what you're doing, about your product or service, you will quit. You will quit. You have to be able to sleep in your mother's basement, sleep in your car. You need to be passionate. It's the only way you're going to get through that stage. Dedicate a lot of time and be really passionate about it. You need to be efficient and effective, able to manage stress, and able to delegate. You know, they said the highest level of leadership is when a leader is able to mentor. The ability for mentorship shows how good, how great of a leader you are. It's very, very important while coming up with the business. The third step that the business is capital. You need funds to start your venture. So you need to get a loan from family, seed money, approach investors. At third stage, you need funds. And at that stage, an entrepreneur needs to be knowledgeable in business, money-wise, knowledgeable of capital structure, a good negotiator, a deal closer, because you will find investors will want to take 80% of the business for the capex that you need. You need to be a good negotiator. You need to know your business inside out. You need to know your cash flow. You need to know the IT. You need to know everything that's going on in your business. It's the only way you're going to give people comfort to invest into your business and to ultimately be that you are the driver that will take this business to an IPO to where it needs to go. The fourth one is labor. You need a good team. You need a really good team. You need a team that believes in your vision. The team that believes in what you guys are trying to achieve and what you as an entrepreneur is trying to achieve, where you want to take them. You need a team that believes in you. Ultimately, work hard to make it happen. You need to motivate them. At this stage, I would say respect is earned. You need to earn the team respect. You earn it through hard work. You earn it through going, be the hardest worker in the room, going through it, getting your hand dirty, leaving your skin in the game. That's how you earn it. At that point, you need to be willing to work alone at times. You need to be efficient decision making. You need to be a good judge of character because I can tell you, people are known as the sin on the CV. You need to be a really good of character at this stage. So, as summary, the personality traits are depicted in the following four ways. Number one, I would say need for achievement. And this refers to the need to strive hard for success in order to obtain a sense of personal achievement. So in general, entrepreneurs tend to embark onto projects or tend to do work that give them a sense of self and sense of achievement. So they'll tend to do more work that expose them more to themselves and help them do introspection and help them better themselves in the process. Those are the kind of that usually entrepreneurs will tend to embark on. So it will be a passion, but they will usually chew more than they can bite. The second one will be internal locus of control. What do I mean by that? So internal locus of control refers to an individual perception of the cause for event in their life. So most of the time, entrepreneurs believe that they are the cause and not the effect. That everything happening in their life is not a subject of luck. It's a subject of they created it. Entrepreneurs are creative. So everything that happens in their life, they believe that they created it. So they made it happen. It's not a matter of luck or it didn't happen to them. They know the effect. They are the cause. And once you stop thinking that you are the effect and you start thinking that you are the cause, success will follow you because you take responsibility. And you take responsibility and accountability and you see everything that happens in my life, the success, I caused it. I made it happen through my hard work. Through my hard work, through thinking innovatively, through being creative, through anticipating the trend, through my research, I made it happen. I'm the cause of everything happening around me, in my business, in my life. Ultimately, that's how most 99% of entrepreneurs think. Third one, I'll say entrepreneurs need to have a tolerance for ambiguity and uncertainty. So an entrepreneur usually will be comfortable making a decision with very little information, making a decision in a terrain that is ambiguous and uncertain. Now, make no mistake, there's a difference between an ambiguous but calculated decision and a spur of the moment decision. Spur of the moment is when you have studied, there's no data that supports your idea, you have no study of the market, you just jump into it. No, you will fail. You will fail. You have to study your market. You need to take calculated decision. However, entrepreneurs tend to be more comfortable in an ambiguous and uncertain world. This world is ever-changing. This world is ambiguous. So the ones who win are the ones that know how to navigate around ambiguity and around uncertainty. It's very important, guys, in the psychology of an entrepreneur. That's how we think. That's how we think. As entrepreneurs, as captain of the industries, we think calculated risk, but we lack taking risk. We lack taking risk. By risk, I might look at incomplete information regarding market, cash flow, competitors, IP developers. Those are typically the examples. But I'm not talking about spur of the moment decision. I'm talking about calculated, but in a more ambiguous in certain market. It's very important, very very important. Last but not least, the fourth one that I'll talk about is risk-taking propensity. Means entrepreneurs actively look for ventures and assignments that requires them taking risks, that require them going into the unknown territory with very little information, going on the gut, plus the little information that they have. That's what makes an entrepreneur. That's how an entrepreneur thinks. But I'm not talking about the spur of the moment decisions here. I'm talking about informed decision, informed decision, but yet appetite for risk. An entrepreneur has an appetite for risk. That's what I mean. And that, in short, summarizes the psychology of an entrepreneur. Thank you, guys.